Hello, and welcome to the Disc Dungeon, where we put you on to musics and melodies in the deepest, darkest dungeons of your computer disk. I'm your co-host, Joe Dove, and with me as always,
Julian Valencia. And if there's one thing we love talking about, it's music.
So, my friends, we are back. Episode 11, I Am Brand New, where we got clever, or Julian got clever this time, and he did the title, because when we put each other onto music last week, Julian put me onto the amazing band Brand New, a Long Island native band, and I put Julian onto the visually appeasing and amazing, clever woman, Joanna Lee, and her band Iamamiwhoami. And I always say that wrong. It's actually not that way. It's actually said, and she's actually one of the bands that I actually have on my library on my phone. So she's actually artists. Iamamiwhoami. That's the name of the band. So I'm going to kick it off to you and tell me about your music wonders of the lovely Miss Joanna Lee.
Okay, so we're talking about my experience with Kin.
Almost
Kin,
sexual.
Kin is the name of the album. Sorry, just fixing my levels here, guys. Right off the bat, the song that I listened to it multiple times because I really like the song was called Play. This was song number 6, if I'm not mistaken. And song number 5 or song number 6. And yeah, I mean the song it just had this like this dance house type of feel to it, and then the overall, not theme, but like her style essentially is this style that, like, I wrote this down. This is the type of music that I get shit done to. Like at that BPM, her melodies they're really entrancing. So it's like, it's really good to like just cook breakfast or make, and that's what I did, or make coffee. And I was like, yo, I'm taking out the garbage. Anyways, I wrote that down because that's important to me when I'm listening.
Get you motivated. I mean, it's serving a purpose.
Well, I mean that, and just where music can take you.
Yeah.
I didn't this album. I didn't really focus on the lyrics at all.
You can't, because of the accent.
Yeah, I mean, I could have looked it up, and I bet it would have added another layer, especially giving me context to the visual aspect of it as well.
Well, there's always a mystery in her music, so I think I even as big a fan as I am of hers, I haven't actually taken the time to dive into the mysteries and figure them out.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I like to. Sometimes I need to find out, especially if somebody spoils a song for me, or just tells me kind of what the background or what the meaning behind the song is. Not spoils. That's not the right word. But at the same time, there's times where I just kind of like to leave it open ended and make my own meaning behind what I just heard.
Thank you for the like in the room. So overall, what did you think of I Am, Who Am I?
As a body of work, yeah, I think it had a tight theme. Her style is very unique. It had bangers on there, especially the song "Play," killer, like you said. There was this other song. I'll tell you right now.
Idle Talk?
No, not Idle Talk.
I like how you have like a record of all the music that we've listened to, like in succession. Oh, Google Play Music. That's why.
Google Play Music.
Google, you did something right with your music, but you messed up with the YouTubes. It made it difficult for us to go live today. Oh, it's Kill.
Hold on, let me hear.
Yeah, that's my favorite off this. Nerves and nauseous.
Sorry, guys. I'm just going back to listen to Yes.
Oh, okay.
This one right here.
In Due Order.
In Due Order. The song right
that's
after
a great
play.
song. Yeah.
As soon as it came in, I was like, yes. The bass right now. I don't know if you guys can they kind of hear this right now? Let me see. Not really. Anyways, the bass is really distorted and it's just so. Anyways, dope song comes in tough. I would say that the album as a whole, I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I enjoy it, but I feel like I would only enjoy it in that one scenario. You know. If I'm not really paying attention, but if I'm really paying attention, I'd probably listen to something else. I'd probably choose something else.
Oh wow, this is the jump off point for a lot of Iamamiwhoami fans. We always, well, me particularly, I started here because somebody at work put me onto her. I didn't know of her existence until someone put me onto her, and I think that's how she's gotten her fame is virality of word of mouth. And I'm grateful for that because she's got something that's just stands out. She became famous and has actually started playing in Brooklyn a lot because her videos went viral off YouTube. And what she does differently than most other artists do today is she puts every song out as a single on YouTube, and every song has a journey visually. And I think that's part of the mystery and the enticement for me into I am, who am I? So I definitely glad that you listened to her, and I hope you check out every visual aspect of it behind her music, because I just feel like her first album was called, well, we didn't know, but it came out in letters. It started with Y, and then it was Bounty again. So there's 2 Ys. And we found, okay, it's bounty. What does that mean? And there's like so many layers to what she does. She's a genius in my perspective.
Yeah, it's awesome when artists can do that.
Yeah, and there's just so much and so many layers to her. It's quite amazing. Now,
it's quite amazing.
We're going to jump into this Long Island band that you put me on to.
Yes, sir.
And that's the Brand New, the other half of the title of this episode.
Brand New.
Brand New is an American Long Island band which began in 2000. With various incarnations of Jesse Lacey Garrett, Tennerly, Brian Lee, and later the band added Benjamin Homla for live shows. All right, so Jesus Christ is my favorite on that one.
Yeah, Jesus Christ is a really
Jesus
good song.
Christ. The opening song, absolute banger.
Sowing season.
What I loved about Jesus Christ, that song, besides, I'm a religious man and I like Jesus. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. I like Jesus a lot. But that song goes through a dope, tempo. It starts off a little slow, but it has this great guitar.
Yeah.
And I love when artists pop that acoustic guitar solely. Like, one of my favorite Sting songs. We're gonna go back to Sting. Don't worry.
Man.
No. Oh
Here
no!
we go.
Don't do it. There's a version of his album, The Soul Cages, and the particular song is "Mad About You," but it's the Living Sea. It's something he did to benefit, because Sting likes to save the planet as much as I do, to benefit the ocean. And that version starts off with a Spanish acoustic guitar, so it's a lot higher pitched. And it reminded me of that, not in the same type of tempo, but so much as the depth of it, because you're starting off with this riff, and then it's a slow song, and then all of a sudden it pops. Yeah, and I love that. That's probably my favorite song on the album.
It definitely pops off.
Yeah. I'm going to get into these guys, as normally I do, during the late 1990s in Levittown, New York. Shout out to my boss, Tony, who is traveling across the pond. Actually, I should tell him to go hang out with Joel, because he's over in Britain right now with Joel.
Yo, shout out to Joel.
Shout out to Joel, who's going to be mixing this tomorrow. Oh, we got to send it to him, so I don't forget. So the band split from the other members of the group in 2000 and formed Brand New in Merrick, New York. The band signed Triple Crown Records in 2001 and released the studio album Your Favorite Weapon. The second album, Deja and 2, was released in 2003 and marked a stylistic change for the band that garnered extremely positive critical reception. So the particular album you put me on to was The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me. And Jesus
yes.
Christ became the highest charting single. So, of course, that's why I listened to it first. What? You're so cliche. Shh.
Be quiet.
Be quiet. Let me do my thing. It peaked at number 30 on the alternative chart. And in March 2008, the band started their own record label called Procrastinate Music Traitors, which I think is pretty cool.
Procrastinate Music Traders.
I love that. That's like, yeah, we're procrastinators. And they have a lot of science fiction, which is their 5th album and a surprise release. Did you listen to that one, by the way?
I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, so surprise. I'm putting you on in your own band.
I love that.
Yeah, so 2017, on August 17th, they put it out 2 days after announcing the release. They put it out on vinyl. And it apparently got critical acclaim and is a commercial success. It became Brand New's first album on the Billboard 200.
Wow.
So definitely check that out. But yeah, back to this album, a great emotional roller coaster. That's what I put it. Very emo in some stages, and very inspirational almost. It kind of, believe it or not, I kind of got uplifted by some of this stuff.
I feel you.
You know, and
there's a power in what's the word I'm looking for? Canonized? No, I don't know the word. It'll come back to me.
There is something about your music. It's good. You know what I mean? I'm definitely giving it an 8, believe it or not.
Oh, snap.
The first 8, I broke the ceiling.
Yeah, because 8 we're talking about.
Like, I'm going to listen to that other album again. I started to because when I looked the band up.
Oh, the other albums are dope.
Yeah, I actually dived into it because I like how they managed to arrange the music. It's definitely a band. I like a lot of the stuff I listen to is always a retro throwback to some type of 80s sound because I'm very married
seated in your ways.
yeah, I'm stubborn as hell. You know, I don't even have an Amazon membership. That's how stubborn I am. I prefer to go to a store. So the deep roots of Joe Dub. I love.
I mean, honestly, this is the beauty of the show, though, because we are coming at this from completely different musical tastes. When usually, two people who are hosting a show are kind of on point.
Yeah,
we know nothing. We recommend things to each other that we're just like, oh, what?
Yeah,
that came out when?
Yeah, exactly. So in the spirit of that, I'm gonna just hop into my homegirl Joanna Lee and divulge some of the things that I've shared with Julian before the episode started.
If you guys don't remember, Joanna Lee was my homework. She wrote an album called Kin. Mm-hmm. Her artist name is Iamamiwhoami.
Correct. And so here's a quote from her. I needed to create something in a form that can be held and cared for by the audience, as they are part of the creation. The sounds of Kin convey that. When Iamamiwhoami started in early 2009, Kin was not yet conceived as this idea. The process of developing Kin started in August 2011. And that's Joanna Lee talking about the development. The creative process in Kin played out from her first live show, Way Out West Festival in 2011, where Lee described it as a close encounter with the audience. In an interview with Days magazine, Lee stated that Kin refers to the kinship with the audience and how it's created in a shape that the audience will be able to embrace. Whereas previous releases were more fluid, the Kin album is tied together both musically and visually. So I remember I told you definitely have to check this one out on YouTube.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to talk about two albums next week because I'm going to go ahead and watch the visual this time fully so I can get the full context of what she was trying to do vocally.
Yeah, and everything that's been done in real time, so everything that she did, if you ever listen to her, she's probably working on something right now. She does something every year, it seemed. And it's not like most artists where they focus on one album and then release that album. She does one video. And then a whole month will go by. So there'll be 12 songs. So that whole year she's putting out another song for an album. It's a very interesting and very creative process. But there's a mystery, like I was saying earlier, to all her work. So blending them together, they can create a new way of communicating for me. Kin can be an experience either sonically, visually, or merged, depending on what's preferred. Joanna Lee says she defines Iamamiwhoami as a multimedia entity, which includes Directors, designers, and close friends. Leaving space for everyone's imagination to run free is a big part of it, in both terms of how we communicate, and also, it's not about being overly clear what the message truly is. So Iana Lee is a Swedish audio-visual project from Joanna Lee. This was released on the 11th of June, 2012 on Lee's own label, To Whom It May Concern, and distributed by Cooperative Music. You can pick this up on CD, believe it or not, but I've yet to ever find this album on CD. And you know me, I actually prefer to go to stores, so I've been looking at the FYEs, and there's a thing called Book Off. You ever go to Book Off over here?
I don't go to stores anymore, bro.
Oh, you're the worst. You young kids today, why don't you go to a store and save your neighbor's job? I really prefer the physical copy of everything because I've gone through so many experiences where my laptops have crashed, my phones have gone into pools. You were like pointing, there's a CD over there for you. Is it the Iamamiwhoami?
It's actually right there.
Oh my God, you got it for me?
I mean, I would not be surprised if there was a WeWork somewhere that had
like a CD library.
Well, I mean, they have vinyls at some locations, but not CDs. Yeah,
so I still do. My buddy's holding on to it, but I have a massive CD library, and some of it was bequeathed. Massive. I have about 5,000 CDs, and some of it was bequeathed on me by friends and who was a DJ, and some of it was stuff I collected over the years. And because people switched to digital and the ruining of music with iTunes and Napster, like the old way of getting music was to actually go out of your house and get it. It changed the game, and it made it harder for artists to get out there. And now YouTube's changing the game, so made it easier, and then flipped it on them and said, hey, if you think you're going to make it here, you got to give me some money. And then when I get some money in my hand, then I'm going to let you get seen. You know, it's kind of weird. But she's one of the big successes from YouTube, and I absolutely enjoy her work. That being said, when we were going to segue into music, make me save my life.
Music, save my life.
I think you have to film your little speeches because I did 2. You got to do 2.
You know, music saved my life.
All right, Joel.
Something
there's
like
your
that.
cue. You got to go film.
You know, music saved my life.
So tell me about some musics that this week.
So actually, I wrote something interesting about this segment. I've been realizing that a lot of the music that I've been recommending to you is of a particular time period of my life, like a 2-3 year period, you know, and I remembered that a lot of this music, Brand New, Bayside, Taking Back Sunday, a lot of this music that was out at that time.
Mm-hmm.
This is like end of high school, beginning of college time. It was my first girlfriend. She was the one who put me on to all of this music.
Oh wow!
Yeah, none of this was on my radar at all. I was very much into like whatever was kind of mainstream at that point. So I would listen to System of a Down. I liked
Wake up! Wake up! Bacon.
You wanted to.
I always thought the guy was having like conniptions when he.
Nah, but if you really listen, dude, that shit is. That song is crazy. Anyways, System of a Down, and like it was basically rock, and then at some point that changed into like gangster rap. Like I fucking loved gangster rap when I was a young kid.
You ever listen to KRS-One?
KRS-One, yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. I really liked it. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Bye bye. He does it better than me though.
And then basically Caitlyn, that was her name. That is her name.
Oh.
Caitlyn basically showed me all these like pop, punk, rock bands, like underground, because all these like you were reading about Brand New, they've been around for so long and they just hit the Billboard, because I don't feel like that was the band's MO in the beginning. Like they were an underground band and they were okay with it,
Yeah.
They were okay with being different and being indie.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I was really into that. So I wrote about that because I'm like, it was interesting about that time in my life where I really connected with bands like Bayside who, regardless of, regardless of the amount of
Titties.
not laws or rules that they wanted to break, you know, and regardless of how that affected their audience, if they became super big or you know, whatever, because all of that is relative. They were okay with that because they were more focused on being authentic, you
Right.
know. And so, you know, around that time, I was going through this period of my life where, you know, authenticity was new to me in a sense because I felt like it took me a while to really find myself as a person.
As a young man.
You know, so the end of high school, beginning of college was a lot of that.
Gotcha. So for me, Iamamiwhoami started the transition from, you know, all the stores that I used to love to go to just shut down. And I was like, well, how do I find new medias of achieving the pleasantries in my ear of new music? And, you know, I would find myself going to a lot of band websites in order to hear new music. Like, I didn't know Dead Can Dance had a new album until I went to their website. You know, and that was one of the first concerts I went to with my lady. And the only way I would have found out about that was through the social medias, because I went to their Facebook page, I went to their website, and I was like, oh, there we go. Oh, they have a new, oh, look at that, they're touring. Let me go check them out. So like this sever of in time, and ironically, that's one of the name of her songs, Sever. I attribute that to that time frame where I was transitioning from stores to like this digital media on the internet. I avoided it so much because I felt like it kind of ruined the whole experience. You know what I mean? There was nothing more euphoric for me than going to travel to get music. The long walk from one side of town into another town, or the long, you know, mass transit ride into the city, because the stores, after all the shuttering, I would have to go into the city to find great musics. So this was the thing that got me to go to Vimeo and to go to YouTube and to go and Google my favorite bands. And when I Googled my favorite bands, one of the things that I noticed, or what was it, Bing actually did this, was they say, oh, you like Dead Can Dance? Check out the Sisters of Mercy. Oh, you like I Am, Who Am I? Check out Fantagram. And that's how I got onto Fantagram. It's like this whole discovery world. It severed my old way of, I'm going to just stumble into a music store, scan CDs that look cool, and see how that sounds.
Do you use any music streaming player?
I recently got Pandora.
Okay, so I recommend, and I know, and I mean, I don't know if you want to pay for it or not, but based on who you are as a music discoverer, Spotify would be the best thing for you.
I think we're on Spotify, ironically.
We definitely should be on Spotify.
Yeah, our podcast is on Spotify.
But I'm telling you, the way Spotify's algorithm works and how it does music discovery, you're gonna love your life.
Dope.
You're gonna love the way you look.
You're gonna love the way you look.
Shout out to Men's Warehouse.
Yo.
We are not sponsored or endorsed by them.
Not at all. But we sure do love the way we look. I think I got a couple suits from them.
That's hilarious.
Yes, I mean, that's basically what happened for me. Like the whole severing of the old ways, so to speak, forced me to just go and find the music that I like, either by word of mouth or, you know, scrolling around on the internet. And I actually don't really like this version of it. I don't even like the streaming. Like, I have the app, but I don't like that method of, all right, I'm just going to sit here and hopefully something nice will pop up. Because half the time, like, when it suggests something to me, I end up skipping it. You know, I really like, there's a couple of times I found something cool, like K-Flay.
What are you using, though?
I'm using Pandora. They just recently expanded Pandora.
Yeah, I don't like Pandora at all.
They don't like Pandora?
Nope.
It opens a box of music.
I mean, it kind of. I don't like it. I don't like the music it recommends. I
hear you.
That's the only reason why I'm saying Spotify, because I have Google Play Music, but I don't discover music in that way. I like through recommendations through people. I like doing that, but I don't really discover music in that sense. So for you, dude, Spotify, even if you did a free trial for a month, bro, then they have it.
Yeah, I'll check it out. So this week, back into the bliss of the 80s, I'm going to put you on to a band that I just got put onto.
Oh, and we don't sponsor Spotify either.
We don't. No. We don't sponsor Apple, or they don't sponsor us. We don't have anything, any backing. So if you're interested in doing so, please.
What are you putting me on to?
I'm putting you on to this band that like I said, recently discovered. And that's Gunship.
Gunship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you find it?
Who's it by?
This is the name of the band.
What album are you recommending?
I am going to recommend Gunship. Like they're so new that I'm like, wait, I just listened to them the other day. Gunship Tech Noir.
How do you spell that?
Gunship.
No, I have that already.
Okay. And Tech Noir. Technoir.
Okay.
And now the cool thing about Gunship Tech Noir, similar to the Iamamiwhoami, is they have this sound, a very distinct sound that's very reminiscent of a lot of 80s movies, to the point where they've got John Carpenter to do a narration for one of their songs. They got all this claymation that's reminiscent of Peter Gabriel and Sledgehammer. I don't know if you remember that. Sledgehammer, big time. All claymation type of visuals for their music, for the music videos. And their sound is very distinct. It almost sounds like it should be in a movie. So remember, I was correlating music and movies last episode. It's a big way of doing that, and they do a really good job. They started out just doing like electronica mixes on YouTube, and they expanded and came out with their own album, which is called Techno, and it's brand new. And I'm really digging it. So
okay,
I'll put you onto that, and I'm still exploring this band. Like I haven't cracked all the mysteries of I Am, Who Am I, who's now just Joanna Lee and has some really cool stuff coming out with her newer music. But definitely think you should take a look at it.
Check a look at it?
Take a look.
I will definitely check a look at it.
Check a look.
Check a look.
I think you're going to like it. It's definitely different.
I'm definitely going to like the way I look.
You're definitely going to like the way you look.
All right, guys. Well.
And for me...
And for you, I was thinking about it, but I feel like I'm gonna have to hold off.
It's gonna be a surprise
and keep this one a surprise.
Is it Bootsy Collins?
Not necessarily a surprise, but I have to think about it a little more.
Okay.
But at this point, this brings us to our behind the beat.
Behind the beat.
Guys, I'm playing a show March 4th.
Oh my God, are you? Is it in the Delancey?
At the Delancey.
It's amazing.
If you're on IG, you hate me right now, basically.
Every post has been Delancey.
You hate me. No, I'm just promoting the shit out of this show. March 4th. It's on a Wednesday. It's in the Lower East Side. Come out. It's also my birthday week. So
happy birthday.
So we're definitely gonna turn up after.
Are we gonna get you a shawarma cake?
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, right.
Inside joke. There's this place a few blocks away. And the shawarma is
it's bananas.
Mwah. It's magnifique. Anyways, guys, this week has been dope. It's been very busy. Practicing for the show, putting a lot of things together.
How does Julian practice for a show?
Yesterday I was singing in the subway. I was just waiting for the train. And
did anybody give you any change?
No, but I wasn't busking. I was just
I know.
I was just literally singing. I mean, I got some looks like,
boy.
like what are you doing at 3 a.m?
Oh boy.
But I don't give a shit.
Nope.
So, anyways, guys, Nate dropped a new song yesterday called "High Up." If you guys don't know, Nate is a great friend of mine. He's my brother. Not, you know what I mean.
He's my brother too.
This dude is amazingly talented. He's a producer. He's an artist, and he hosts a very amazing open mic once a month in Mount Vernon on Gramerton Avenue. So
my old town.
So if there's any Westchester natives over here, or anybody from the Bronx, or anybody who just wants to come out to a dope open mic that happens once a month, it's catered to artists, that's where you need to go. It's called 159 Sessions. Anyway, so Nate's song is really, really good, man. He's making me so proud.
You were playing some of it for me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was very good.
This guy is dropping music very, very frequently now, and it's just quality. It's quality every time. So big ups to him. I had 2 separate writing sessions this week. One was with Diego Days. Diego Days is un reggaetonero for my Hispanics out there, or anybody who just, I mean, honestly, there's a bunch of white girls that fuck with reggaeton, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
Yo, like really fuck with it. Like they know artists, and they'll drop some knowledge on you. But Diego Days, we made a really awesome beat. Have you ever heard of an anime called Berserk?
I have, actually. That is a dope anime.
We took the intro of that anime and made it into a reggaeton song.
Oh, that's interesting. I got to hear that.
Oh, I'm definitely going to show you. And this song is really good. We Diego Days has he melodizes, as he would say. He has a gift of the pen. And when me and him work together, we just amplify each other. So it's always very awesome to have him in here. And I also had Suemi. She goes by Luna Late Bloomer. And same, we had a beat already. At this point, we were just focusing on finishing the lyrics and the melody. And Suemi is very talented as well. She's very new to this whole song making process, but she's embracing it, and she's really, you could tell how proud she is of her own growth. And as a member of Made by Audios is the name of our production company, and you can find us on IG at Made by Audios. And we love this part of music where we're essentially developing artists through making music with them. So Suemi is she's a testimonial at this point. She's going to be a testimonial.
Dope. Now, if people wanted to book your services, they could reach out to you on IG, and you will.
Oh, most definitely. I'm very responsive.
Yep.
Very responsive. If you need any type of mixing, mastering services, if you need a beat, custom beat with live instruments, if you need me to recreate a beat that you heard online, instead of leasing somewhere else, just hit us up. We'll definitely talk. Let's see. What else do I have on my list? I talked about the show. Also, Kyle Sheriff. I've been mentioning Is Nate, but Kyle Sheriff and Is Nate are going to be performing with me on March 4th.
Awesome.
the squeaking chair.
So I definitely, this is going to be a great show. I mean, I've heard Is Nate's work. I haven't heard Kyle's yet. So you're going to put me on to some of that.
Kyle's dope, man. But the thing is, there's going to be 4 more artists on top of that.
Wow, it's going to be a big show.
So I'm going to be the last one, but there's going to be 4 or 5 artists. So regardless, if the other artists are of the caliber as Is Nate and Kyle Sheriff, the bar is going to be very high for me, which is kind of awesome. I like that challenge.
You better drink some of that tea.
I need some of that Kool-Aid right before, right? All right. So, I got 2 more things behind the beat. I want to talk about my set list, actually, because as I was telling you, when this show is done on March 4th, this is kind of like how do I say it? It's kind of like a survey in a way, where I'm going to gauge the audience's response. I'm going to gauge how the song sounds with a live band, and based on how I feel, these songs may make the EP, the album. So I wanted to add a lot of variety there to really kind of come at it from all perspectives. So I'm starting off with the song that's like reggae, hip hop. Then I go straight into like a pop funk. Think like Bruno Mars, 24K.
Lord, sexy, hallelujah.
Exactly. There you go. Exactly. Just like that. That type of style.
I'm hip.
Blood is Water. So then the third song, which is a song that I'm going to talk a little bit about at the end of this segment, is called Blood is Water. This is like a jazzy guitar, but then he's very straight up hip hop drums. So it's very lo-fi. People would consider this lo-fi.
Okay.
And then it goes into a song called Again, which is just a pop song with a hip hop beat. Mm-hmm. Bittersweet is the same thing, a pop song with the hip hop beat. So in the middle of my set list, I'm bringing the energy down to then bring it up again with a dance hall rock type of feel, and then I end it with a pop EDM style. So I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah, but that makes it fun.
In a good way. Yeah, in a very good way. And so this song "Blood Is Water" is I need to talk about it, guys, because there's a lot going on in life right now, and this song kind of really, just really defines a lot of my feelings.
Oh,
They kind of come in and out. "Blood Is Water." "Blood Is Water" is a song. It's kind of like a metaphor, right? Because you know how they say that blood is thicker than water.
yes.
Right. And that means that, like, your family is different because this is blood. Like, you have to love them more or sacrifice more for them. But, in my experience, there's not a lot of people who are my blood who I feel I have that connection with. I actually feel like I have a lot more of those connections with, strangers who have then become my friends.
Oh.
So "Blood Is Water" is just me saying, like, blood is just water. I mean, blood is
Yeah.
and so
Especially to a vampire. Hey. Delicious.
So, so I come at this from perspective of I can't handle this anymore. Mentally I ain't equipped. Quicksilver through my fingers. Every part of me is hanging on to this. This is actually just prefacing how, like, sometimes we want to hang on to these things that aren't good for us anymore, but we just can't let go.
It's like me in music stores.
There you go, bro. Just let go, dude. Just let it go.
They're all gone. What are you gonna do?
I need to get a hold of the picture. I've been slipping through a dream, scattered into millions of pieces. So here I'm just painting this image that, like, I'm losing control. I'm slipping in and out of consciousness. You know what I mean? And I feel I'm scattered into millions of pieces. I'm everywhere. I'm nowhere because I'm everywhere. I've always wanted to redeem. Yeah, these cuts are the deepest. And so again, there's just like this sense of, like, guilt. And so I need to redeem myself for what? You know what I mean? And that's the point of it. At the end of this, you're like, wait, but what? What do you have to redeem yourself? Which is why I'm setting it up this way. Yeah, these cuts are the deepest. Just basically referring to everything that I just said and how this impacts me in a very heavy way. So then I go immediately into this 360 where I'm talking about something completely different. Full leather Maserati. Chrome wheeled up body, vroom, engines roaring like a Fenny, spending money like I can be. You don't actually, right? So, right, all of a sudden, it's like, what, he's talking about cars and he's talking about.
Or is the car a metaphor for a lady?
So, no, it's not a metaphor for a lady. It's a juxtaposition of how I'm going through all of these things. I'm telling you how this is affecting. In the first few lines, I'm telling you how it's affecting me. I'm telling you I can't handle it. I'm telling you I'm losing control. I'm scattered. I'm slipping in and out of things. Right?
Do you need a hug?
And then I literally snap. And I'm just using material objects to kind of just numb how I feel.
Damn.
Full leather Maserati, chrome wheeled up body, room, engines roaring like a Fenny, spending money like I can't. You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, I become this monster in a way, right?
Yeah.
In a sense.
It's a metamorphosis.
Yeah, exactly. But in a bad way,
right? Dark metamorphosis.
Right? And then skirt. You don't actually expect me to keep up with the he said, she said. Nah. Only want to do the best for ya, but I can't compromise myself, sugar. So. This is it's just basically me coming into realization of something through going through it.
Yeah.
Just going through these experiences that I have moments where I digress. The Maserati part, I have moments where I digress and I use whatever to numb or run away from situation, but ultimately I snap back and I'm like, I can't compromise myself. And then water. Blood is just like water. It's just like water. Blood is just like water. Because the way this song ties into the rest of it, and I'm not going to get into the rest of it, is that, when you expect to learn, or when you expect your idols kind of to be your family members and your counselors, when you expect that to be the case, and it's not there for you, you're gonna bump your head.
What about when your idols fail you?
You're gonna
fall.
You're gonna fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is very deep, man.
Yeah, very heavy. A lot of your music is very heavy.
Yeah.
Mine's otherworldly, I would say.
Word.
I like to go away.
It's like that. It's like that. I posted a picture on YouTube, and it was like I just used this like distortion effect where it looked like my head was coming out of itself on both sides, and that was the one picture that you were like, "Yo, I like this."
Yeah, that's exactly what I like.
I like this.
I like stuff that's not normal, and I like it to be transcending of what we know in everyday life, because it's nice to escape. When you have a lot of things like that, and deep cuts that make you bleed, and you realize that things expand beyond the normal realms that you can maintain. It's nice to venture off and live into a freelance and a free fall of something cosmic. And a lot of my music is, I would almost say, cosmic based.
Cosmic is a good word.
Yeah. Because a lot of the music I listen to is very electronic, but it makes me happy. It's just what I like. I like being happy.
Well, I think that segment was awesome.
Yeah. I really enjoy it. I'm looking forward to the concert next week or 2 weeks.
We're talking about a week and a half now.
Week and a half. Okay. We're gonna, I have some video footage for you of you.
I'm never gonna get that, guys. So
I think I have it on my back.
Don't let him fool you into thinking that I'm ever gonna get that.
You're gonna get it. Swear to God.
But anyway, guys, this is a segment we like to call Tatica.
You like to call it Tatica. I like to call it.
We bring you tricks of the keys.
Oh, so you added like a little rap there at the end, like a little pterodactyl.
You know what's funny? Like I used to do this bird noise at work because like we had this one higher up that was very like pterodactyl in stature. So I used to go caw caw to like warn people that she was coming.
Damn, what an asshole.
I was the worst. Very nice man on the outside. Inside, I'm like, fuck everybody now. I mean, I had a good time, but.
So guys, this week we have one it's pretty obvious actually once you look at the lyrics, but the song itself is so well made and sounds so uplifting that
oh yay
that you kind of just don't focus much on what's being said. I mean, unless you do, and when you do, you realize that Foster the People's Pumped Up Kids is Mark Foster
right.
explained the song's meaning to Spinner UK Pumped Up Kids is about a kid that basically is losing his mind and is plotting revenge. He's an outcast. I feel like the youth in our culture are becoming more and more isolated. It's kind of an epidemic. Instead of writing about victims and some tragedy, I wanted to get into the killer's mind, like Truman Capote did in Cold Blood. I love to write about the characters. That's my style. I really like to get inside the heads of other people and try to walk in their shoes. Foster says he considered writing the song from the perspective of the victim, but felt that it would be a cop-out. He also points out that there is no actual violence in the song, as the threats are all the kid's internal monologue. Foster discussed the broad appeal of the song in an interview with Billboard magazine. Pumped Up Kids is one of those songs that blends something that's really familiar with something that's very modern. He said, it's a song where you can lay on the couch and listen to it, or you can get up and dance around the room to it. And so, yeah, this is probably the best part of the segment is because there's a lot of music out there like that where, the mood of the song doesn't match what's being said, and then you find yourself dancing to a song about a kid who's contemplating shooting up his fucking school.
And what's wild is like, I love this song.
Yeah.
And I really bopped to it when it came out because it was one of those that I stumbled on listening to Fantagram and Morchiba. And I'm always like, oh, the other kids better run. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. And then you brought it up as a tonic for this week. And I'm like, what song? What are you talking about? And then you played it and I was like, oh, no way.
Yes way.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an awesome one. So yeah, be careful what you're listening to. It might be
imminent
doom.
Just say that, guys. Come on, let's. It's okay.
Trend it. Hashtag Tatica.
Hashtag TOTK. Totica.
TOTK.
We're gonna start to make it a.
You're gonna make it a thing.
It's a thing already. You just.
Oh,
just
okay.
don't know.
All right, kids.
Well, this was fun.
We're gonna wrap it up for this episode of the Dis Dungeon.
Episode 11.
Episode XI.
Peace.